to episode 85 of Credit One-on-One. In this episode, I want to talk to you guys about the different payment plans that you guys can be on. So there's so many different payment plans that you guys can definitely look into. And if you guys ever have any questions about these payment plans, I suggest that you get on the phone with your student loan servicer and say, hey, I want to get on the payment plan. I've heard about this plan, or what other plans could I do? So you guys can do the pay-as-you-earn repayment plan. And you guys also have the revised payment plan. That would be good. Income contingent payment plan, and then income sensitive. Now, when I actually got on a payment plan for my student loans before, years ago, I got on a payment plan, and my payment plan was income based. It was the income based, I believe, or income driven repayment plan. Now, with this one, they basically, at the time when I got on it, I didn't have that much. I didn't make as much. So they had my payment as $0. So I always tell people, call and see what you can get, because you can actually get a lower payment than what's actually scheduled. I know we talked about forbearance and how you can get a lower payment, but you guys can also do this and it can be a lower payment. For those people that know, like, I don't want to say for sure, but I just want to say it is what it is. If you know that you're probably going to be considered low income for a long period of time, then I do suggest you guys look into the income driven repayment plan, because they told me that even if I was scheduled to pay the $0, that's still counted as a payment. And you know, they have the forgiveness when you pay, I think, like 20 years of payments or whatever it could be. You guys probably already at it anyway, in terms of you knocking off those years. I would suggest that you guys get on there right away, because a lot of those years, if you can have them $0 a month for multiple years, you're truly winning. So definitely look into that. And for those people that's like, no, it's not gonna happen for me, still look into it. If you know that you're paying off your student loans at a certain rate, try to make sure you match it up for some type of forgiveness so that you can be on track for something. In a previous episode, we talked about how people signed up for the SAVE. They was able to get their student loans forgiven. It was like 153,000 people that got their student loans forgiven. These are people that actually paid on their student loans for 10 years. They didn't know that this was going to happen, but it's actually forgiven. And to me, they didn't really take out that much. It's $12,000, but still, it's still something. And just imagine if those people were to have like a $0, and then now all of it's just gone because it's been so long. So definitely look into this. You definitely want to get on some type of plan. But I will see you guys in episode 86. Let me know if you guys have any questions for me. Hey, welcome to episode 86 of Credit One-on-One. In this episode, I'm going to talk to you guys about doing complaints with the CFPB. This can help you fix your credit problems and your financial problems too. So if you have certain things you feel like companies are treating you correctly or fairly, then you can definitely come here. Again, consumerfinance.org/complaint. That's where you're going to go. And if you scroll down, then you'll see where it says start a new complaint. This is a great website, a great resource for you guys. Most companies are going to respond in 15 days. When they see something from the CFPB, it's something very, very serious to them. So they want to respond right away. So you guys can definitely do complaints with the CFPB. They're going to ask you a few questions. You can also look up the company, because they look up the company information ahead of time. Just Google the information to make sure that you are picking the correct company. Tell them exactly what's going on, and then they are going to follow with the company. And most companies are going to respond within 15 days. You can do this with the credit bureaus. A lot of people do it with their mortgage. If they try to do a loan modification, it wouldn't go through, or whatever the case may be. I want you guys to just come here, check this out, and then check out other videos. Maybe there's other videos out there about this. You can do your complaint online, or you can just call them over the phone. Like, say if you're just nervous, you don't know how to take nothing in, just call them and say, hey, this is what the problem is. And then they'll do everything for you. It's going to take a little longer, but you know, as long as you get it done, that's all I care about. So they're going to be open from 8 to 8, Monday through Friday, except federal holidays. So definitely call them if you're having problems. This was a main one for the credit bureaus. Say if the credit bureaus want doing certain things, you can always do a complaint with them, and then they'll follow up with the credit bureaus. Sometimes the credit bureaus will give you like a basic response, like, we're going to follow up with you directly via mail and things like that, but at least do this for a paper trail. You guys can also do the Better Business Bureau. So BBB, look them up also, and you can do a complaint on there about whichever company you want to do a complaint about. And then those two things can really help you start getting the ball rolling depending on your situation. Now, if you do have fraud, look up FTC, because that may be another one you want to look into. But you can also do scams and fraud and stuff like that on here too. let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll be happy to answer those questions for you. But definitely check out this website because I think it'll be very, very beneficial to you. And all you have to do is just call them, okay? So it'll be very, very beneficial. I'll see you guys in episode 87. Hey, welcome to episode 88 of Credit 101. In this episode, we're going to talk about their credit card debt. So I'm starting to see a lot more people having a lot of credit card debt. And I'll talk about getting credit cards, but I'm not talking about credit cards just so you guys can get it and you mess up on it. Now, I mess up plenty of times on my credit card, so I'm going to definitely give you a few tips that you can use to get ahead and not have those late fees on your credit cards, but make sure you do something. That's the biggest thing. Don't just sit there and think it's going to disappear because it's not. And I used to need to hear that because I used to sit there and think stuff going to disappear, and it's not. So when it comes down to your credit cards, if you cannot make the minimum payment on your credit card, please call them. Okay, please call them and let them know that you cannot pay the minimum payment. Try to see if you can come up with some type of solution with them. They're not going to report you late to the credit bureaus until you're 30 days late on that credit card. Okay, so I would suggest that you call them. A lot of times, some of these companies, and you can try to push for it, they can lower your interest rate temporarily just to make sure that you can make your minimum payment, because lowering your interest rate is going to get you a lower minimum payment. So they can lower your interest rate temporarily. They can also remove any type of late fees that you may have or any additional fees that you may have, because again, that's going to be included into your minimum payment. That can help you make sure that you make your minimum payment. And also, if you can't just make your minimum payment and you have available money on your credit card, you just don't want to spend it, because like, I'm going to get deeper into debt. Think about something that you're going to purchase anyway with your debit card, something that you could purchase with cash. And a lot of times, like say if I'm out with like one of our family members or something like that, or out, if we going somewhere, we're doing something together, I often say, hey, you know what? Let me go ahead and pay for this with my card and you give me the cash. You guys can do the same thing too. If you have somewhere where you can do that, and I do it just to get my rewards and things like that. But you guys can definitely do the same thing. It's really, really nice to be able to do that. But if you have money available, you can always do that. If you're going to pay a bill with your debit card anyway, there you go. You can do that too. You can use your credit card to pay whatever bill and use the cash from your debit card to just pay the minimum payment on your credit card. But there's a lot of different things that you guys can do, but just do not sit still. And if you feel like the credit card company is not trying to help you, they're not looking out for your best interest, then what I do suggest is maybe you can file a complaint with the CFPB in regards to this company, or maybe you want to just get in the good graces of this company in terms of just getting it paid off and then not deal with this company anymore. Because usually with credit card companies, they should help you in some type of way. They want their money. That's what they're in the business. They're in the business of lending you money. So they're going to want their money back. But if they're not trying to help you, then maybe you need to go with a different company, somebody that can actually help you. Now, if you all have any additional questions, please let me know. Let's go to episode 89. Hey, welcome to episode 87 of Credit 101. In this episode, we're going to talk about those medical bills and medical debts that you guys have. I see a lot of people with medical debts, and a lot of people are concerned about what to do with these medical debts. I see some people even with medical debt into the hundred thousands. Now, one thing I don't want you guys to do is I don't want you to throw this medical debt on credit cards, because credit cards is charging you interest. And when you throw it on your credit cards, you pay with your credit cards. And what you're going to do is you're going to start putting interest on this debt. And a lot of times when you guys have medical debt, it's not going to change. Like a lot of times it's going to stay whatever it is. So say if you owe $1,000, it's going to stay $1,000 after they add on any fees that they may have added on. But they're not going to start charging interest on it. Like usually you put on a credit card, maybe 29% interest. So I don't want you guys to throw it on a credit card, because all you're going to do is just make it become a larger number. Now, some things that I do want you guys to look into when you guys have medical debt, try to see if there's some way that you can let them know about your financial problems, because sometimes they can throw out certain debts. I see a lot of doctors' offices do that. They'll say, hey, we can cut these bills down. They can reduce it. They can take off any late fees and just make you pay exactly what you owe for whatever procedure. And then also another big thing that they can do, which is very, very important to me, because I like credit. I want you guys to make sure your credit is the best it can be. They can also delay putting it on your credit reports. We have a year now. They have to wait, but they can possibly wait even longer. But I do suggest for you guys to not ignore it. And also, if you can't get insurance, or if you probably don't know where to look into the marketplace. We have the marketplace, healthcare marketplace. Look there to try to see if you can get insurance so that you can just pay that bill, whatever that bill is going to be, instead of paying all these additional fees that you guys are paying to these hospitals. You can just pay whatever your fee is going to be to your insurance company. And also, if you guys have any type of deductibles or anything like that, you can pay that, but it'll be much cheaper to do that than to have all this medical debt that's eventually going to report to your credit reports. So definitely look into that. And the biggest thing is do something. Don't just sit there. And payment plans work just as well as anything else. So that can be a good thing that you guys can look into. But I'll see you guys in episode 88. If you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. I'll see you guys in the next video.